Hey, it's Kael from Prografx.ca, and today we're going to review how to install one of our wrap style kits. Okay, step number one, we want to make sure that we've got our panels off of the sled. We bring them inside on a nice clean, dry bench. We want to make sure that the panels are actually at room temperature. This way that your panels will be warm and the decals will actually bond properly to the surface. To get started, you'll need the following: X-Acto knife, sharp scissors, squeegee, which we provide, masking tape, heat gun or hair dryer, paper towels, glass cleaner, spray bottle full of water with just a drop of liquid dish soap. This is a typical wrap kit that we sell, and basically the difference between this and our OEM style kit, or the kit that you would get say from the factory from Skidoo, this basically covers the whole panel. It has multiple pieces, so it's a bit like a puzzle, and basically you apply it and it covers everything. Today we're going to wrap one of our race team, one of their sleds, so this kit will have a few more pieces in it than one of your typical kit that you'd buy from us online. However, the installation procedure is basically the same. So let's get started. All we're going to do is use a glass cleaner or a detergent-like cleaner that is going to remove all of the loose dirt and any surface grime, anything that's on the panel that's going to cause us problems when we're installing. Just a spray bottle and basically paper towels, and away we go. Now, with the wrap style panel, or the wrap style kit, we want to make sure we clean a lot more of the panel than we would with the OEM style. The wrap is going to cover all the way to the edges of the panel, so we want to clean all the way around. If you have a sled that's used, you may get some residue down here from exhaust. You want to make sure you get all of that cleaned off. Basically what I usually say is if you can eat off of it, or you feel comfortable licking it, then it's clean enough. We also use methyl hydrate or rubbing alcohol. What this will do is it will remove any final residue that's on there. Sometimes a glass cleaner won't take off certain grease, finger marks, or anything like that. So we're just going to apply that as well and give it a final wipe down. And when you flip your towel over, if the towel is clean, then obviously you're not removing any dirt or anything anymore, so you know you're safe. If you do find that there's a little bit of discoloration or dirt on your paper towel, then continue cleaning until that doesn't happen anymore. With our wrap style kit, it comes in 4 separate pieces. So you've got your main panel here, you've got your lower panel, you've got your upper panel, and then your top piece. It's very obvious on the print which piece is which. So basically, we start with the middle one, lower is the second, third is top, and then finally the top piece last. Best way to start out with your wrap kit is to cut it into manageable pieces. So I'm going to work on the side panel graphics here. This is the middle panel and the upper panel. So I'm just going to trim this piece out and leave the rest of my roll to work on later. We're going to pull off the middle panel, so we're just going to walk our fingers along and hold the liner paper down as we pull this up. And we're going to carefully transfer it over here. Now this might be tricky. Meaning this edge right here, you want to line this corner up. You can clearly see on the panel where it changes direction. And you also want to line up across, and you'll notice that the way that the decal is cut, it actually follows the contour of the edge of the panel. So we want to work it, get it kind of laying down just so loosely, using that top edge as a reference. then we're going to use our squeegee. Now I've got a different squeegee here, but the one provided for you, you want to put your, you want to just wrap it in a paper towel, just so it's got a soft edge. Then it's a lot easier to squeegee it down. You want to basically squeegee from the middle out. So you're going to work all directions so that you don't get any bubbles in the middle. So just work, fan it out. If you do get a little crease like that, just pull it back up and squeegee it back down. Once you've got this little area fastened, it's not going to move anywhere. So then you can lift this all up all the way around and work it in all the different directions. Important note here, where this panel changes direction, there's a little bit of a dip through here. Use your finger and make sure that you get this tucked down in there. You don't want to run it across, because then it will stretch and possibly release once it cools. And again, there's some curves in this panel down here, so you want to pull it up. Just kind of work it all the way around, always using a semicircular motion with the squeegee, so you're always kind of fanning it and pushing it outwards towards the edge of the panel. Now you'll notice I kind of stopped here on this edge, and I'm going to work it that direction. I want to work it towards this little indent right here. Use one surface at a time. So you want to squeegee this surface all the way down, and then you can worry about this surface. Same with over here, same idea. Again, tuck it into that corner. Okay. This is the tricky one. You'll notice here that we followed this groove. We try and keep our graphics above this line. You don't want anything hanging down here on the bottom of the sled. You get into some deep snow, it may damage the edge of your graphic. So we keep it up above the line. So it actually will follow that. And you'll notice here, this is an oversized panel. With the wrap, oftentimes you'll have to, depending on the graphic and the color that's in here, you will have to trim and do some trimming, which I will do in a second. Don't be afraid to use your thumb to work over curves or high points. If you've got a place that your squeegee feels awkward, your thumb is pliable and it'll do just as good a job. You'll notice here in the bottom corner, I didn't notice this before, but I've got a little bubble. It's not a big deal. All I want to do is take my sharp knife. If I poke it at the bottom of the bubble, just a little hole, and then I force the air out from the top with my finger, and the bubble is gone. Also, you're going to notice here that the graphic is actually hanging off the bottom of the panel. I didn't quite put it high enough. That's okay. This, as I said before, we can do some trimming, so I'm going to do that now. You're going to basically just follow the edge of your panel here with your knife. If you don't have a steady hand, I would recommend you take a piece of masking tape and use it as a guide. So you could actually string a piece of masking tape so the edge of the tape is right along the edge here where you want to cut, and then you can use your knife and follow the masking tape. Now you'll see when I'm pulling this back, it's actually leaving adhesive on there. That's how aggressive the adhesive is. When it sticks to a smooth surface, it stays on there even though you're pulling the rest of the vinyl off. So once I pull this back, I'm actually going to use an adhesive remover, and I'm going to wipe that down and get rid of that. This is the most difficult piece to put on for the side panels because of the vent. Now I'm going by the front edge here and trying to line up my graphic, which actually looks like it worked pretty good. Now again, you don't want to twist it, you don't want to pull. If you pull this here and stretch it, you're going to run into problems getting it all to lay flat. So you got to be very gentle, very patient. Okay, once I've got that, you can see I've got a little bit of a gap here. That's okay. Now I'm going to start with my squeegee, and I'm going to start on this edge, and I'm going to squeegee towards the vent, both directions. And again, use my thumb because it's just a little bit easier to handle. And then the best thing to do is to make sure that this part right here on the back corner of the vent is in the right place. So I'm just going to kind of gently with my thumb, or my finger, sorry, I'm going to go around and make sure everything is all stuck down around the perimeter of your vent. So for the side piece, the main piece that goes here, I've got this face down so the adhesive is facing up. What we're going to do is we're going to apply this one wet so you can see how that works. So all I'm going to do is spray the back of the decal with water. It's my soap and water mixture. You want a spray bottle full of full of water and 1 drop of dish soap. That just allows it to slide around a bit so it doesn't stick right away. Because this is a bit of a curve, it is a little trickier piece to put on. So once I've got that, I'm just going to pick it up by each end. I'm going to flip it over, and you can see because the water's on there, I can float this around. Now the key, again, is alignment. You can trim stuff once you've got it on there. The key areas to line up are your BRP. There's a raised little area here, so you want to make sure that that lines up correctly with the cutout. And also, if you want it to be seamless here, you want to keep your graphic high enough that it touches the white in this case, so that I don't have a black line in between. Don't worry about if this hangs over, you can always trim it off. Okay, so once you have your panels, your graphics installed, what you want to do next is hit it with some heat. What that will do is it softens the adhesive and basically allows the decal to bond properly to the panel. You don't want to take this thing out into the cold without doing the heat gun first, because the little texture that's on these side panels especially are like high points. So the adhesive actually isn't, sunk down into those grooves. So applying heat will actually help do that. Once you've got all of your graphics installed, whether they're wet or dry, just leave your panels inside overnight at room temperature. The adhesive needs about 12 hours to bond properly to the surface. For more information or to purchase one of our wrap or OEM style graphic kits, please visit Prografx.ca.